up some?
Welcome to Coffee Talk Apologetics with coffee.
Oh, we're starting.
Tea. In 1 Peter.
Peter. I didn't even know you started it.
Yes.
That's when
I walked
We're
over.
rolling.
That's where we're rolling. We're rolling. So, okay, this is probably it's a little bit of a tougher one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually kind of focusing on the 1 Peter 3:15 aspect of why can't we just say, like, why do you need to give a reason? Why do you need to just say anything more than, well, I believe because I believe, or I just know, like I just know in my heart that it's true.
Are we saying why it's important to believe, or
why is it important to be able to give a reason for why you believe? So you could say, like, and I think people have for years. I think historically, growing up, that's what I heard people say is, well, I just know. Like, I know God is real.
Mm-hmm.
I have faith. You hear that, frequently, is I have faith. But, then you have like your evidential, like what they would call evidential apologetics, where there's reasons for why you believe what you believe. So I guess this would be called Why Does the Why Matter? You want to go first, Ben? You want to chat first?
I went first last time.
I'll go first.
Okay, Levi's going first. Oh. I like it.
So obviously, there's a bunch of different reasons why you should be able to defend why you believe what you believe. But I think the main one that I've seen in my own life, and like the main like application of that would be like to tell people about Jesus. Like if you're gonna go and spread what you believe, you can't just say, "Oh, I believe this," and you should too. Like you have to be able to defend it, give reasons. To back yourself up, because you can't just say, "Oh yeah, you should believe this," and they'll be like, "Yeah, it won't work."
Like, yeah, why should they believe? Like,
right?
What? Just because you say so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a good one because it does make it pretty impossible to have meaningful conversations. Because then why couldn't they just say the same thing back? Right. Because that would be the easiest thing for anybody else to do. It'd just be like, well, yeah, but I believe something different. What about you guys? What do you think? You're like, go to Ben.
I'll go.
Sailor.
I
was about to volunteer, Sailor.
I mean, let's be real. Who wants to believe a lie, right? Yeah. No one wants to believe a lie. All humanity just searches for truth in every single sense. We look for truth everywhere, but you don't want.
Go ahead, sorry.
But truth is important. You have to know what is true. I mean, because let's say Christianity is true. People that don't believe in it, you're going to hell. I mean, this is the harsh reality of it, And I think many people also say that truth is relative to you, that you can believe whatever you want to believe, and all truths are correct.
Yeah.
And you would know the story.
Let's go. Yeah, let's pause on that for a second.
Are
you going to expand on that more?
Yeah.
Good. Yes. That's what I was hoping you were going to do. Okay. Good.
You would know this because it's in I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist by Frank Turk. But he uses this analogy of this seminary student that goes to his hometown. Yep, super good. He goes to his hometown and he goes to this random church. And the preacher starts preaching on relativism, that all religions are true. And by the end of the service, the pastor goes up to him. He was like, introduces himself. They kind of talk and whatnot. And then the pastor's like, so what do you believe? Like, what religion do you believe? And he's like, I don't feel comfortable telling you. He's like, no, you tell me. You don't offend me. He goes, well, I believe you're going to hell. And and the pastor just had nothing else to say, And truth is important because, in Christianity, we believe that either you believe or you don't. And also, it's like, what if Christians have it wrong? We have to know the truth, and that's why we're always searching for truth.
And I think there is a scripture that says, well, if he...
I'm so sorry, my mom's calling me, and I told her to only call me if it's an emergency.
That's all right.
Hold on one second. She called twice. Hold on.
That's all right. We'll keep going.
Hello, I'm so sorry. I was in the middle of a podcast.
That's going to be good. Add it to the blooper.
That is the best.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I gotta... Oh, are you keep going? Are you going to keep going?
Yeah, we're going to keep going.
Oh, my gosh.
I have a question.
Ask Nevaeh the questions.
Bye, guys.
This is
All
the
right.
This is all right. So this is the strangest.
And then
episode
there was
ever.
3.
And then there was 3.
Shut the
Okay.
door!
So.
One
Yeah.
second.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm shutting the door. Oh my gosh. That's like hey, that tells you that we do not like cut it or
No,
clip
yeah,
it,
this
or
is all
just
natural.
like how it is. Yeah, and I think so. I think going to for me, if you have relativism, then it just goes to chaos.
Yeah, nothing's real. You
Then
can't
nothing's
believe
real.
anything.
Then everybody has their
Right.
you know that you have like the your truth thing. Okay, now they're back.
It's like what you said the other day about
They're
the
back.
baseball
one's
thing.
back.
You can't play baseball without like some rules.
Having
right?
some rules.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a really good Uber.
That's what. Okay. Good.
What?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's what it gets down to is you have to be able to like to play the game. You have to have
Right.
rules
Yeah.
to the game. And if everybody has a relative truth, the problem is a lot of those disagree with each other,
Right.
A lot of those truths or a lot of those beliefs or a lot of those positions or faiths are directly in conflict
Yeah.
with another.
Then it literally
So,
can't be
it-
relativism.
It can't be because somebody has to be correct
Right.
and somebody has to be incorrect. And it's probably, I mean, I can't think of anything that's more important than knowing if this is true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell you honestly, if it wasn't true, I would want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it shapes everything, right?
Yeah, it shapes
Yeah.
everything.
What in your life does it not affect?
Right, and isn't there a part of the Bible that says if not, then we should be pitied.
Yeah.
If Jesus didn't raise from the dead, then Christians should be pitied.
Mm-hmm.
So I think truth does matter, and to me, relativism just boils down to opinion.
I mean, it's self-defeating too. I mean, someone says there's no truth. You can believe whatever you want. That's like, well, that's your
Go
truth.
back to Turek. What does he say?
Then that's your truth. Or
Well, actually,
Is
I
that
think how
true?
he says it is that true?
Yeah.
So if there's no truth, well, is that true? Which actually is kind of like one of the funniest.
Yeah, it debunks itself right
It
then
kind of
and there.
debunks itself.
the good old knee slapper.
It is a little bit of the knee slapper. It is the knee
That was a
slapper.
bad one.
But I think so. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody? So let's go. Play. You want to do like a little?
I have a really good example. Not really, but okay. Can I share it?
Yes.
Okay. So, it was a year ago, and I like, well, for a long time, I was like super like it sounds silly, but I was like so self-conscious to say like, yeah, I believe in God, like I'm a Christian, but like it was like really difficult, I think, because a lot of my friends at the time that I'm not friends with anymore, disagreed with it and stuff. And I remember there was a teacher that like I looked up to, and I really liked him as a teacher. And it was just like us, I forgot what, but and he asked me, he was like, Nevaeh, like, are you a religious person? Like, do you believe in God? And I was like, this was like the first time I've ever like really like I like kind of like told people like another random person pretty essentially like what I thought. And I was like, yes. And I shared the gospel with him, and I was like, are you a religious person? He was like, and he like laughed at me, and he was like, no, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like it was I loved like hearing about like what he thought and everything, but like I think that moment was super like defining for me. I think in a positive way, and I think in a negative way. And yeah, I just wanted to share that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good example.
And I think that's good. And I think and that's the thing that I think I've found more interesting than anything. I've taken a couple courses that have challenged me to like actually go out and have conversations.
Yeah.
I find like going honestly to just like coffee shops, and I'm pretty good at like starting a conversation. But the beauty of it is you can just ask questions. So like, Sayla, if you were like,
Let's do a step-by-step thing.
yeah,
right?
we could do like like if you were an atheist.
Hey,
and,
let me set the study.
Ooh, I
all
like
right?
this. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
We're in a coffee house, right? They have like a
We're
nice
in a
little
what?
coffee
coffee
house.
house.
They have a nice
Well,
little
Coffee house.
they have a nice little like tune out like do.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Katura walks in.
Uh-huh.
Sayla's over there in the corner
Okay.
just sipping on her tea.
Uh-huh.
You know?
And they don't know each other.
Yeah, they don't. And
There
Katura
you go.
walks in. Ooh, I like that.
That
Katura
milk's
wa-
gonna give it away though.
Yeah, cover it up.
Yeah.
You have to switch it.
All right, Katura walks in. What do you do, Katura?
Well, first thing I'm getting, obviously, something to drink.
Right,
'cause
naturally.
What do
I
you
need
get
to
it?
have
What are you
mine
getting,
as well. I don't drink coffee. Well, here's what's funny.
She's getting tea.
I have to get tea. Chai. Do you know what I found out?
What'd you find out?
Chai tea causes cancer.
No, totally off the topic. But do you know chai means tea?
Yeah, it's tea in
Yeah.
Russian, isn't it?
So when you say chai tea latte, you're saying tea latte.
My friend Timmy's aunt
That's
was
just a
making
little
fun
bit.
of me.
You know what? That's just a
My
little bit
friend
of a tip.
Timmy Ant.
No,
So-
my friend
It's like
Timmy's aunt.
You're like basically saying tea latte.
Tee-hee-hee.
Yeah.
I always called it chai tea latte.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like,
to us, it's differentiating, but in other countries, it's like,
I'm-
they're like, what are you saying, TT?
you're saying tea latte.
Yeah.
So I don't say that anymore. I just
All right,
say
you
chai
get a
latte.
TT latte.
So I get a chai latte, and I'm gonna sit next. I'm like gonna sit somewhere near her, like not at the same table, but near her. And I'm just gonna start up a conversation. I'm gonna be like, "So have you been to this coffee house before?"
Mhm.
Yeah.
They have really good coffee.
So you're a coffee drinker,
Oh yeah.
and then I'm
That's
gonna
pretty
tell
good
you my
tea.
chai tea latte joke,
Yeah,
and then
TT.
that's gonna break the ice a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna ask her. So like, what do you do? Like, what do you do for? Do you go to school? Do you work?
Oh yeah. I go to Harvard. Actually.
You look smart.
Yeah.
You look smart.
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
look smart.
I run track D1.
Okay.
Nice.
You want to track it out already?
Nice. Long distance or short distance?
Short. Always been a sprinter. Whole life.
Same. Sprinter, long jump, triple jump. So that's what I'm doing too. Is I'm
Oh,
trying to
long
find
jump.
long jump, triple jump.
Yeah.
Just really
So
jumping fast. Running
Jumping.
fast and jumping.
Yeah.
That's
It's
really all
so
long jump
fun.
is.
I
See?
live it. I live for it.
So now we have something in common. So I try to find some type of commonality. I have never washed those cups, by the way. So I hope you're not actually.
My mouth's not actually.
Okay,
touching.
good.
It's really
So it's good. It's good. That's good. So I'm curious. So you said you go to Harvard.
good. Mhm.
Do you run track?
Oh yeah.
Do you believe in God?
No.
What do you believe in?
I believe
Like if
in the
someone
Big
asked
Bang
you.
Theory
Okay, Big
Yeah.
Bang Theory.
and kind of like science, nature,
Okay.
all those things.
All right, Big Bang Theory. So maybe you'd consider yourself like a materialist.
You could say that.
So Big Bang Theory. So do you think like before there was nothing, so nothing just became something?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So how is that what you've always believed?
Well, I grew up in a Christian home, but like people just would shove it down my throat, and I hated it. So I just like believe in science.
You
I
believe
think
in
it's better.
science.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So you believe in science. I believe in science too. So I definitely believe in science too. And I think we actually have a lot in common because I actually also believe in somewhat of a Big Bang Theory. I believe that there was nothing and then there was something.
Mhm.
I think the only difference between what you believe and what I believe, when it really boils down to it, is I believe that everything that I've ever seen, science included,
Mhm.
tells me that to have an effect, you have to have a cause. And so I believe in the Big Bang too. I just believe that the Big Bang, or the one that caused that, is God. So I guess I have a question. Like, do you just think that like nothing? Have you ever in science? You said you like do you study? Is that what you study at Harvard?
Yeah.
Okay, so you study science at Harvard. Have you ever seen anything that where like there's something, but before that there was nothing, and it just miraculously appeared? Oh wait, I want to know. I have to know.
I said that I'm referring to God as the Big Banger from beyond.
Wait, what?
The Big
She goes,
Banger.
The only difference between me and you is I believe that there was like the Big Banger or something like that.
He was the one
That's
that
good.
there is someone who
Unbelievable.
created it. That's I don't think that's mine. I think I actually heard that. I would love to
Frank
take
Turner.
credit
That's
for
fine.
that.
That's fine.
But I think I actually heard that. It could possibly be.
I think it is.
It could possibly be him.
No, right? No.
Huh?
No.
No.
No. Never.
Wait, I forget what.
I forgot. Something into nothing into something. In
So have you ever
science.
seen that in science? Have you ever seen where there was nothing? Like if we're
When
sitting
I
in this,
studied The Big Bang Theory, yeah.
so if we're sitting in this coffee house, are you at all afraid of like, what's your favorite animal?
Horse,
Horse.
definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
She's a
I
horse
get
girl.
that. She is
Horse
a horse.
girl.
She likes horses. So are you afraid at all that like a horse, or maybe you'd be excited that a horse would just like appear?
Oh, yeah, I'd be excited.
Do you think it's possible?
No.
Why?
It has to
Debunked.
walk. It has to walk to get
So
to
why
its
why does that why wouldn't that be possible? I mean, in your theory, nothing can miraculously turn into something with no. That was good, right? So I mean, you'd probably be excited about a horse just appearing.
Quit putting your mouth on it.
My mouth.
So I think the biggest thing is just asking questions and trying to get to know what people actually
Yeah.
believe, because like with her, like science was big, so you have to come and ask questions from a scientific angle to understand what does she actually believe. Like, does she actually believe that in some frame of reference that all of a sudden something could just appear out of nothingness for no purpose?
What is nothing?
Nothing is
The absence of something.
it's the absence of all things.
Of all things.
Nothing is nothing. There's nothing in it. It's
Yeah, there has to be like it can't even be. Is that the clap track?
Yeah.
So I think you have to, but you have to get to know people.
Yeah.
You have to understand, and that's why, when you have you ever had a conversation with somebody that maybe doesn't believe in like, and isn't like an atheist, but maybe believes in another religion.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that you have to know everything about that religion, or even have a working knowledge? Like, let's say you were going to have a conversation with somebody who was a Jehovah's Witness. Would you have to have a working knowledge of a Jehovah's Witness to be able to have a conversation?
You wouldn't have to. I think it would help you.
Yeah.
Why would it help you?
Because you can, you obviously knew about the Big Bang Theory. If she just explained that to you for the first time, you'd probably have a lot more of a hard time on the points that you perfectly disagree with or see a problem with. Like if she just explained that to you, you'd be like, oh, you'd probably have to think about it.
So do you think that there'd be a problem with me saying, well, tell me what do you mean as the Big Bang Theory? So because I think sometimes, so do you think if you have a working knowledge of let's say being a Jehovah's Witness, or let's just use that as an example, do you think that can taint the way that you have the conversation? Because now you have a preconceived notion of what that person thinks, and instead of finding out what that person thinks, like if I didn't have some kind of working knowledge of a Big Bang Theory, I could easily have said, what is that? Like, tell me more about that. Like, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? I think that's completely fair.
Yeah.
Is to have that. Is to say, tell me what does that mean? Like,
there's
I've
kind of
never.
almost advantages to each side. Where it's okay, I can help share my point of view in the ways that it disagrees with hers. But also, if you were hearing it for the first time, it would kind of be like a more natural conversation.
It'd be more interesting, right? Because then you get to actually find out. Because I think one of the things that I found interesting in some of those conversations is that even if I talk to Catholics, for example, you'll talk to 5 different Catholics. You get to talk to 5 different Catholics, and you might get a different answer from every single one. So what is that called when they because at one point in time, I don't know if they still do, they could buy indulgences.
Oh yeah.
Good job. So wasn't that like buying forgiveness or?
Yeah, it's buying salvation, more or less. Buying forgiveness.
No, it's purgatory.
My catechism teacher was so mean to me.
About indulgences?
No.
Or just in
in
general?
general.
Oh, just in general. So
Catholicism is a whole other episode.
I went to a Lutheran school, and we also had to do a form.
We should talk about that one day.
Yeah.
Our
we had to do Luther's catechism, and it was.
Oh, for sure. Because
Yeah.
we have previous Presbyterian.
I was Catholic.
Non-denominational.
Always been non-denominational.
Yeah.
I went to a Lutheran school, have Catholic family, Church of God.
And do you go to a Baptist school now?
I go to a Baptist school. Yeah, I guess that's 4.
No, that's
Yeah.
4. So you can come.
And-
You're gonna be 4. You could be your own whole podcast.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then what about you?
I believe in the Bible.
Biblicist.
Yes. Do you have any other denominations that you've or have
Um,
always been?
I grew up Baptist, went to a Baptist school,
No, you didn't.
went to another Baptist
Yeah,
school,
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Same as
Okay, I
me.
can never tell. he's
went to
being
another
serious.
Baptist, went to another Baptist church,
I
and
couldn't
now I
tell
go to
he
a
was being serious
non-denominational
enough.
church.
So
But I
I
believe
think
in the
that's
Bible.
so that's the thing is like we've had a little bit of that conversation actually earlier is I think there is a natural curiosity that happens when you don't know that actually lends itself to a good conversation because I could literally say, well, I have no idea like what indulgences, how does that tell me how that works. Like, how does that work? Have you ever done it? Does it,
Yeah.
like, how much does it cost? Does it vary by person? Like, you can have a real honest, genuine curiosity for learning about people. But I think what surprised me is I've talked to different people, Catholics, or I have a lot of Catholics that I know. And they'll be like, oh, well, I don't believe that part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe, like, I've actually had a Catholic person tell me before that they don't, I think they believe that, like, the body actually becomes
Yeah.
Isn't that
What's
true?
that called?
Can you word that?
trans.
A
trans
crucifix.
Yeah,
something?
Crucifix.
yes.
No.
no, it's like where the body, where
I
No,
believe
the
so.
bread actually becomes.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah,
bread
Lutherans,
actually
yeah,
becomes the
Lutherans
body.
believe that
because
too.
you
Lutherans believe
Yeah.
that true.
Yeah, 'cause
so the
you-
bread actually becomes the body.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I freaking
Trans-
forgot. My
No,
Bible
because
teacher would be so
you eat
PO'd.
the bread, like, because you eat the bread
learned it for 8
and
years.
like, you drink
Hey, I
it
got it. Don't
every,
worry, y'all.
every
Don't
time,
worry.
every
Look it
Sunday.
up.
It's
Every
called
Sunday after your first.
Trans something.
yeah,
Which-
Figuration?
it
No,
tastes
that's not
so
that. It's
good, I think
transubstantiation.
Transubstantiation might
Maybe,
be right.
I don't know.
See if that's
I
accurate.
got,
He's
I'm
timed
reti-
out over
I'm
here.
timed out.
I had
But
my
they
first
actually do
communion.
believe that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had my first communion, and that's when you like make it like official.
What is it
Like of all
called
that,
when
like the
communion actually turns into Jesus' body and blood?
Service.
Is it?
Got it. We got no answer here. We'll just say I was right with
They don't know.
transubstantiation.
If we are wrong, we're very
Yeah.
sorry.
Is it right?
Transubstantiation. yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So, but I've
I
actually
knew it.
talked to someone who is still practicing,
Crucifix.
I have no idea where you're coming from.
Should I say?
Crucifix is when
That one.
Jesus is still on
I
the
know.
cross.
I'm like, I don't understand.
Babe,
But
It is a
kinda.
Catholic thing, so
Yeah.
you're right
My
there.
parents always like anytime I I asked, okay, this is like kind of embarrassing.
No, go for
But like, so when I was little, like we were Catholic, you know, and I like be like Mom, Dad, like what's the difference between like Catholics and Christian? And like they literally like to this day, I think if I ask my mom, she's like they're the same exact thing. They're the same exact thing. Yeah. And like
They're radically
now
different.
knowing what I know
Radical.
and what I believe, like. Did you say my mom's ratchet?
No. You said they're radically different.
Radically
I know.
different.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
she ratchet.
that
My
would have been
gosh.
an
good.
extreme
Yeah.
response by them. But I think it's interesting because I've talked to Catholics
Yeah.
before that don't that are practicing active current Catholics that 100% say, well, I don't actually believe that happens.
Yeah,
But that's like a major no-no, right?
right.
That's crazy.
It's,
I didn't know that Lutherans believe that too.
Lutherans are very,
didn't know-
very close.
Yeah, that's
to
what
Catholics.
I was
Yeah.
But
saying.
Lutherans will
Because
say
They
that they
just
aren't
don't. They
Catholics
don't
at all.
Yeah.
pray to Mary.
Yeah.
They don't pray to Mary.
That's
My
like
grandma's
probably the
Lutheran.
main difference.
Yeah,
to be
that-
honest.
because-
Between Lutherans and
Yes, I would say that Lutherans.
Oh,
My
Catholics.
cousin's Lutheran.
Oh, Lutherans?
cousin-
Why did I go
Catholics
Presbyterian?
Take communion every Sunday.
Yeah,
I'm not like
Presbyterians don't
Jesus.
pray to Mary.
So,
I'm
like-
not like the judge.
So once you turn like 7 or 8, like you do that like with your family, and it tastes
Yeah.
so bad.
And I think
Oh,
Lutheran,
wine? Yeah.
Yeah, it
One time I
tastes
accidentally took it at
Cause you take it for your.
we had to play
communion.
handbells for Sunday morning service at that church.
Handbells?
Yeah, and since I went to the middle school, I had to do it even though I didn't go to their church. And we were taking communion, and they were like, "Come on, guys, we're gonna go take communion." And I grabbed the wrong cup, and I drank wine, and I like spat it out.
Well, ours was always grape juice.
Yeah, it's like a Lutheran Catholic
I did
thing.
not eat.
I-
Also, my grandpa's funeral, They had a
What?
because they're Catholic. They had like a big cup of wine, and everyone take turns drinking out of it, and he like wiped
Nope.
No, wait,
Yeah.
that
Nope.
happened at my church every
Yeah.
Sunday. Everybody drank from the same.
Did they do the incense thing?
No,
Where
so
they-
I remember
That's
this.
an actual
Everybody
thing.
drank from the
Yes,
same. Okay, wait.
I know what you're talking
This will
Oh
be
my
an
gosh,
example.
we have to do a
no,
whole
no, no.
podcast
So you,
on this.
yeah, I'll tell you about my experience. But so we drank from the cup, okay, and then like the priest wipes it, and then it's the next person.
Yeah.
You drink it, and they wipe. It's all from the same exact cup. And then like the
They-
bread,
they wipe
the
it with
bread,
Clorox.
the
I
bread
think
is
you're
like
supposed
the
to do that.
size of like a dime, like the bread.
Mm-hmm. It's like a little.
It tastes
wafer.
like
Yeah.
it tastes like raw eggs. It's horrible. like like
Yeah, it's not a
it
good
is
combo.
horrible.
Gotta bring
And
it
like
up.
when I
That's
had
crazy.
like, cause I did have like a first communion.
Aren't they worried about like
I had no
passing
clue.
germs?
I had no clue.
That's why they wipe it, I guess.
Yeah,
That does not seem
No,
like
it's
that
not,
would be
probably.
enough.
cause
Let's
you
talk
go
about
like
this
you
on a
drink
whole
it.
different podcast.
We're gonna have to
There's
talk
so
about
much.
this on a whole different podcast.
Yeah, we are. We're
But
getting
that-
really
yeah.
sidetracked.
But I think that's the. But I think this goes to it is that it's important to be able to
Right.
talk about why
Mhm.
you believe what you believe. And I think when you don't have that preconceived notion of what somebody else believes, you can ask honest questions like that. Like we can actually see. Do you see how natural this conversation started going?
Yeah.
Just because we could say, well, what is that? Like, how does that work
Uh-huh.
there? And like, how does that? What happens in this part? And how do you guys do? How is communion different? How is baptism different? Do you guys believe in child baptism? Do you believe in adult baptism?
Yeah.
You know, how do all those things differ? And you can have a really, really great conversation that usually goes over multiple, you know, it's probably not just a one and done kind of conversation because there are so many different things that you can talk about.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes if you think that you know what that faith is or what that belief is, then you can kind of get bogged down in your own preconceived ideas and not ask, you know, good, honest questions because you already think that you know what it is, you know?
Yeah.
But, so I think it's important to be able to, because if people ask you the question, well, I think that goes back to 1 Peter, 3:15 is, be prepared to give an answer for the
Hope
We
reason.
should count how many times we say that.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Like 2 or
we
3
should.
times per,
At
We do
least
say
7.
per episode.
At least 7.
At
Yeah.
7
least
times?
7.
Like,
We need a button.
yeah.
Like we
Yeah,
need like a
I got it.
1 Peter 3:15 button
Yeah.
that does it.
That's funny.
This
But I
thing
do-
actually
and
does not work, guys.
Obviously,
You're
I
not
think
supposed
that
to tell
it's-
them. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
a secret.
Ixnay
It'll
on
work
the-
soon.
It
right?
works.
Yeah,
it works.
we have a part.
He doesn't
Yeah.
know
Part.
We're gonna figure it out,
Parts
and we
in the
are
middle.
gonna be able to do the
We've
horn.
just been pretending.
Yeah. Right now we're practicing. It's like a warm up.
What is that one?
You guys
doing?
are really good at the pushing of the buttons. I have no idea what those buttons are going to do, but you're very good at the.
That's gonna
Okay,
be
no,
really
Ben doesn't
big.
get to do it. Ben,
He's
just
like
lost-
calling
You've
my
lost
number.
button pushing privileges.
Well, if I turn it off.
We've just established that. Let's see. Look at that. You can't even figure out how to. There you go.
Found it.
Well, that's it.
Podcast.
It's gotta be
Wouldn't that
done
be
now.
funny if it actually like turned the whole thing off?
We were all just
we didn't
going.
really know that it was working
Yeah.
the entire time.
Oh, watch it like hook up to the tablet.
So yeah, I think that, and the other thing is that we're told to have a reason. I mean, and scripturally,
Mhm.
we're told that we should have a reason for the hope that is within us. So, I guess that for me is what it boils down to too. Is if we're told to do that, then we should make every effort to have that reason, right?
Yeah,
See.
That was a good one.
it was good.
I like that. And I don't know what the topic is going to be next time.
Catholics.
Tune,
We might
You'll
get-
find
Advanced
out.
Catholic
tune back
experience.
next
It'd
week
be
for
fun
a
if we did
surprise.
Every worldview, or
I
not
think,
denomination.
or like the denominations that like we represent,
Right,
we can
yeah.
kind of talk about them.
That'd be cool.
I'm going to
Represent.
study up on my my Presbyterian
That's a lot of
knowledge.
studying. We
You're
should
gonna
do. We
see
should
them
do that.
study.
We should do that like.
Studying.
You
Give
need
me
a couple
some
weeks to
time.
figure out what you believe.
We should do a whole podcast where we like do like conversations like that.
Yeah,
Where
where we
we
talk
just-
about like apologetics and stuff.
Or where were you like?
Do a whole podcast about it.
No,
think-
like
I
where
think-
you guys are
I
talking.
think-
I think
Where
we
you guys
should.
are talking.
Like role play.
I
Yeah.
think we should.
Oh,
That's right.
Oh.
That would be
My
fun.
bad.
That's scary.
I'm cutting you
I thought
down
it
and
was
you
so
low-key
fun.
making
Oh wait,
sense.
so we could each be a different thing.
I
Yeah.
hope people
I-
don't actually think I'm atheist. I'm not atheist.
Tell them.
We love
started
Jesus.
telling
I love
Jesus.
Jesus.
We love Jesus.
There we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
What was I
Disclaimer
gonna
at the
say?
end.
4 Christians,
We should
1
do
Big
like the
Bang
thing
Theorist.
of like.
Yep. She's
I
She's
think we
our
should do
token
like a thing where it's
Harvard.
like how we ended up at Metro, like type
Well,
of thing.
then we
Like
could
it
go
go down
down
the
Or
line.
testimonies.
Oh, that'd be
Testimonies.
good.
That'd be cool.
Testimonies.
We
That'd be
Oh,
can
that'd
do
be good, too.
testimonies. I
All
like
right,
that.
so there's some ideas for future
Perfect.
podcasts. Feel free to give us if you have ideas.
We should make a thumbnail today.
Yeah. Sayla, D1 Harvard sprinter.
Yeah, D1 sprinter.
We
Jumper
had a
too.
D1 Harvard sprinter on our
She believes in the
podcast.
Big Bang Theory.
All right, coffee, tea, and not chai latte.
First
And
Peter
chai tea.
3:15.
Chai
tea.
Not TT.
Not TT
Not
latte.
TT.
TT
latte.
lattes.
Alrighty.
Yep, coffee,
Chai.
tea, and 1 Peter 3:15.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
I feel like that
Would
was